I'm Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling things, all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. So this past week we had NXT No Mercy, live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's get into it. The opening match, Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. It was pretty good. You know, some good back and forth. At one point it looked like Briggs was going to win, until Javon Evans grabbed his foot and, to quote him, nah. It was clear Javon Evans got himself a second win, got the OG cutter, the pin, and the win over Josh Briggs. Like I said, it was good, but like, my only thing was, did this belong on a PLE? In my opinion, no, not really. It just wasn't that interesting of a rivalry, but decent match. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Then, for the Women's Speed Championship, as NXT has taken on the Speed titles, which I guess makes them officially canon, but whatever. It was supposed to be Sol Ruca versus Lainey Reed, but apparently Lainey Reed developed an injury in training right before the match. So her last minute replacement, Jada Parker. My issue with this, it's a speed match, and I'm not into those at all. When they first started, I watched a couple on X just to see if they were that good, and they're not. 3 minutes, 5 for a title match, is not enough to get me that invested in the match. It's basically the rules are doing exactly what I hate in certain matches, which is rushing it. Just everybody trying to get their crap in the allotted time, and I don't like it. And Zarya was on the outside trying to help Sol Ruca distract Jada Parker, and eventually went to spear Jada Parker, but Lash Legend was down there and got caught in it. But it was enough of a distraction for Sol Ruca to get the Soul Surfer onto Jada Parker at the last second, get the pin and the win, and retain the Women's Speed Championship. Which, just, who cares? 2 out of 5. Then, a weaponized cage match. Which right there is awesome. Between Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe. This match was freaking awesome. Brutal. Not just physically brutal, but like mentally brutal, as at one point, Blake Monroe used a hairdryer cord to tie Jordynne Grace's hands to the ropes and cut her hair. That's like a mental brutality right there. Then in this match, I always love seeing the new creative things people are coming up with to put in a bag and dump all over the floor. Sometimes there are things that make you laugh, sometimes there are things that like, okay, that works with their personality. In this case, with Blake Monroe, she poured out diamonds and diamond encrusted jewelry, which I can't imagine falling on would hurt. But it came down to an air raid off the top rope from Jordynne Grace onto Blake Monroe. That got her the pin and the win. Like I said, this match, for its brutality, its storytelling, and everything going on with it, this was easily the match of the night and easily a 5 out of 5. Then we interrupted to have a little announcement from Ava Raine that in a couple of weeks, replacing an NXT show, will be NXT TNA Invasion, where it'll be 2 Survivor Series matches. Okay. Feel like if you're going to do this, you could have made it a PLE, but you're just going to make it one of those specials. Whatever. Then for the North American Championship, Tavion Heights versus Ethan Page. It was a good match. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, except the fact that there was no drama of Ethan Page ever being in any real danger of losing his championship. This match honestly felt like it was just a going through the motions match until Ethan Page picked up the win and retained his North American Championship. However, the drama came after the match, when on the Tron, Dr. Wagner Jr., the AAA Latin American champion, who Ethan Page has been calling out, basically said challenge accepted. Ethan Page wants his Latin American Championship, he wants the North American Championship. Looks like we're going to get a title for title situation going on. So I would say that kind of bumped it up to where I would give it a 3 out of 5. Then for the NXT Women's Championship, Lola Vice versus JC Jane. It was an awesome match. Not just the fighting, but the drama in it. Like, we had Fallon Henley on the outside, of course getting involved. Just her, because Jasmine Nix has been written off TV because her contract has expired. But of course, after interfering enough, she was kicked out. And it looked like Lola Vice could actually pick up the win. Until a masked woman came out, attacked Lola Vice, And even though Lola Vice was able to get back in the ring by herself, soon after JC Jane got the rolling elbow, the pin, and the win, retaining her NXT Women's Championship. And now there's a mystery of who's going to be the new Fatal Influence member. Guess we'll see. This match was, like I said, friggin' awesome. 4 out of 5. Then for the NXT Men's Championship, Ricky Saints challenging Obafemi. This one was also friggin' awesome. Especially Ricky Saints pulling out all the stops, like a very strenuous powerbomb onto Obafemi, which was great because it made me wonder, would he even be able to get the Rochambeau? But it didn't come down to that. It came down to, after a 4th DDT by Ricky Saints, Obafemi was put out so that Ricky Saints could get the pin, the win, and he is the new NXT Men's Champion, which is awesome. Hopefully he holds on to it longer than he held on to the North American Championship. It was a great way to end the night. I wouldn't say it earned a 5, but easily a 4 out of 5. So NXT No Mercy 2025 overall was a good show. It started out a little weak. Not that there was anything wrong with the Javon Evans-Josh Briggs match. It felt like something that just should have been on a weekly show, not a PLE. And it got a little weaker with the Women's Speed Championship because I didn't want to bash it too much because I'm like, maybe it's just me, but no, apparently a lot of people are not that into the whole Speed title thing. It's kind of dumb. That's why I think they put it on NXT TV, because nobody was watching it on X. It's just not that interesting. First of all, the belts themselves look like toys. And secondly, 3 to 5 minutes is not enough time to really get invested into a match. It's basically saying like, hey, we're going to come in here and just rush a bunch of fancy moves, and we don't want that. The North American title match was also kind of a letdown. The rivalry itself has been built up just fine. I just feel like the execution wasn't that great. Because again, there just wasn't the drama there. It felt like a going through the motions thing. However, it ended very strong, with both the women's and men's championship matches being really, really good matches. Having plenty of drama, making you have to keep your eyes on it, because anything could happen. But the match of the night was clearly the weaponized steel cage match between Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. I don't know if this rivalry is over, but if this was the blow-off match, it was a perfect way to do it. It was awesome, it was brutal. Now, as far as to what would I rank the show overall, it definitely didn't earn a 5. I wouldn't even say it earned a 4, because even though half the matches on there were really good, the other half were pretty lackluster. Sorry to say. I would say it was definitely better than the previous week's WrestlePalooza, but I wouldn't say it earned anything more than a very solid 3 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post the videos, and leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. Tell me what you thought of NXT No Mercy 2025. Tell me if you thought it was better than WrestlePalooza. Love you guys.